Welcome, guys, to another episode of Nerdgasm, and today's very exciting because we're going to be doing something we haven't done before, showcasing a certain line of figures that we've never really talked about.
Some classic stuff from the 80s.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
yeah. This is very exciting. Not only is this show one of our favorites from the 80s, but it's kind of having a bit of a resurrection right now.
I know, in 2011 we saw the resurrection of a franchise that was long gone, and we were so excited to see it back, and there's a lot of fans out there that are just excited as we are.
Absolutely. So we're going back to 1985 this time.
Yep, 1985.
And
mid-80s.
What do we got first?
Well,
we've got...
We're going back to... we'll remind you of 1985.
Yeah, and as you can see,
we have the original here.
Andre's shirt is showcasing.
Here's the spoiler. This is what we're going to talk about.
And this is the original Tiger.
Yep, from the Thundercats. Yes, there he is.
A little company called LJN made these. LJN, and they made wrestling figures at the time, too.
Yes, they made those big rubber WWF wrestling figures as well.
And here we have Tiger. Now, they made two versions of Tiger originally. They made... This is the young face one. Then they made actually, they made the mature one
More
first.
mature face, yeah.
They made the mature one first.
And then they had this one, who came with a Wily Cat.
I prefer the sculpt on this one.
Yeah,
you?
I think it looked more like the cartoon.
And they all had, all these figures, these Thundercats figures, had this
they had the lever in the back for the little battle-matic action.
And it worked.
Yeah.
As so. Wow,
yeah,
he still got a
whip
nice...
that around.
Oh, so
and
much
he would
so he
throw
lost
his whip away, too. Look at that. I guess he was really limited articulation. They had that one spring-loaded arm. Some had two spring-loaded arms. Knees, hands, didn't really have anything. He just turned through head, lift through arms, lift through legs. Yep. That was about it.
Alright, so let's see what we have now in 2011.
This is the classic version of Tiger. And as you can see, he has been redone with all the latest articulations. They kept the likeness, much like they did the LJN toy in the cartoon series.
Yeah, and these are made by Bandai.
Yep.
And I've not really collected much stuff by Bandai in the way of action figures.
Bandai mostly known for their Ben 10 and Power Rangers stuff, but nothing really appealed to me. Now this Tiger actually has his bolo whip in the small folded up version and the regular whip version, but unfortunately the predecessor had like an actual string. This is like molded plastic, so he can't whip it around like he did back in the 80s.
We should also mention, too, that these figures are 8-inch in scale, which is kind of a weird scale.
Yeah, because normally things are 6-inch, 3 3/4 inch. That seems to be the direction they're going, but 8-inch scale is kind of out there.
But, I mean, beautifully updated.
Absolutely.
As you can see, the side-by-side comparison there of the two.
Yep. Now, we have one more classic one we have to look at here. Because right now, there's only two that they have made.
Right, and I'm hoping this line continues. Cause
we'd love to see more updated versions of these characters.
These are the ones we want more of.
So,
you
gotta have the star, you gotta have Liono.
Yeah, there's the original Liono.
I don't know if there's a sword action here, and there's the new version.
The new updated version, which is just absolutely magnificent, man. I really love what they've done.
Now, both of them have, like, the claw shield, as you can see. This would just kind of cover the front of his hand. It's kind of stuck on mine. There we go. And they both have the Sword of Omens completely extended.
Yeah, they have two versions. Well, this one has
this
two
one
versions.
Actually has the small version of the Sword of Omens before it's ignited.
There it is.
That's something I always kind of wanted to see as a kid.
Yeah, so you could actually tuck it into his claw.
Yeah.
Which he did in the show.
So there you have the new Liono again with updated articulation. And that add accessory. And it looks like you actually can put the Sword of Omens in the claw shield.
Yeah, they actually showcase that on the back of the package.
So that's really awesome.
And we also wanted to mention on these 8-inch classic figures that their price point is around $15.99 to $19.99. Around that.
So now we saw the classic version of Liono. So you hold him here. And the new cartoon series has a new look to him. It's an awesome story. They have a new look, and some people are liking it, some people aren't. I prefer the traditional look, as we just saw with those action figures. But this is the new one. This is what he looks like now. It kind of has that Dragon Ball Z look to him with the hair.
It's definitely an updated look. I'm getting used to it because I know, I mean, the 80s were great, but we can't
expect to have a visual presentation of those same looks and same characters today.
Yeah, you got to kind of change with the times, because I mean, the Dragon Ball Z Ben 10 look, that's kind of in right now, and that's what what they went with.
Yeah.
And much like the classic version that we saw that Bandai has made, he's got the claw shield, the Sword of Omens, and the small Sword of Omens as well.
Yeah.
So we have the Started Liono.
Super articulated as well. 18 points on him.
Yeah, 18 points articulation on these figures as well. These are 6-inch scale, so that's more of a traditional size, unlike the 8-inch scale. And we'll see another scale they're doing too, which is kind of unorthodox as well. So every good hero, we gotta have a good villain. So here we have Mumra.
Mumra, the original.
Now, this is the original LJN version of Mumra.
Tell them what you did there.
Now, something that I was always kind of a purist as far as the cartoon series. He always had that red tattered cape.
Yeah.
So I had to make one for mine.
Yeah.
So I have mine here, just kind of tied around his neck and on his wrists. But he's complete. He's got these 2 swords. He has a little battle-matic action here. And it kind of covered that little lever.
Yeah. A lot of collectors hated those unsightly levers.
But here's the original Mumra. Now let's look at the 2011 version of him.
Wow.
And there he is.
Has changed. I mean,
Yeah.
he's more dramatically changed than I think any of them.
It's kind of off scale. I mean, he's got these really, really long arms, this huge torso and big shoulders, and this tiny little head.
Yeah.
We have actually not seen him in the cartoon series yet. He's been his mummified version,
Yeah.
not the ever-living version as we see here.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what he's going to look like once he makes that transformation.
He's yet to transform. So let's do our third one. A thing to note with the Bandai modern 6-inch line, there's only 3 right now available.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more, but we're going to end off with my favorite Thundercat of all time.
Andre's favorite.
This is Panthro, and I absolutely love this character. So I'm trying to collect all of his stuff. He's got a little action here with the nunchucks, and here we have the new version of him.
Nice.
Out of package.
I kind of like his look. He's badass.
He's got a really tough look to him. He's all kind of scarred up.
Yeah, he's got a scar right on his head.
Yeah, he got a scar on his head. He's got spikes everywhere. I mean, man, they really made him someone you don't want to mess with. Now this one has nunchucks as well, but they're not painted like his, the red and the blue. They're just all gray, and it's not a real chain like this. It's actually molded plastic. Another cool thing that this one had that the other one never had is nunchucks that are folded up that you can snap into his back and onto his belt.
That's a nice
sometimes
feature.
He would store those, so you have like an alternate version of them.
His coloring design also is a little bit different. They went from a light gray to almost a darker purplish gray. But also the color scheme is more darker and realistic in tones too, which I appreciate.
Of course, we do have mint in package as well. That's how he looks when you see him in the store. Again, 6-inch scale, 18 points of articulation.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. It is the new 2011 Panthro.
Out of the 3 6-inch, I think he's my favorite.
Oh, absolutely, by far.
Not just character-wise,
he looks awesome.
Not just character-wise, but execution design-wise. You know, I prefer the Mumra to be a little more
to scale.
Yeah,
I
just think his scale is way off.
Kind of nuts.
And the face sculpt on the Liono just seems dull to me.
Good too. Yeah.
For a 6-inch figure, you should be able to get more detail in a sculpt.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
look at what Mattel has done and what Hasbro has done. They did some wonders with the 6-inch scale. And while we're on Panthro, we do have one other figure to look at for Panthro, and that's the other scale, which I find kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
A 4-inch scale.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. They make everyone in this scale.
Yeah.
Every Thundercat, be it in this or a deluxe version, and they make Mumra,
Kit and Cat.
Yeah, Kit and Cat. There's a Snarf that comes with a Thunder Tank, which is skewed to this scale. Again, it just doesn't fit with anything.
Yeah. There's also deluxe figures. There's a Groon deluxe figure. There's another Liono deluxe figure.
Yeah, there's a Tiger also.
There's a Tiger deluxe figure.
A reptilian figure, too. So.
And he's similar to this one.
Yeah.
Would you say...
He looks a lot like that.
Does it look like they just blew up the design?
Kind of looks like it to me.
Or shrunk it down?
Yeah, not as many accessories or anything, but yeah, there he is.
But as you said, you can get the whole core group right now. In Series 1, there's 7 figures available. It shows the other ones on the back here.
But I just don't think I can go with this scale. I'll collect them all in the 6-inch scale, but just this one, I think I'm going to pass on.
Yeah.
If they were 3 3/4 inch, like G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and now Marvel Universe, I may have gone for that, because, how awesome would that be to have, Snake Eyes, Spider-Man, and Panther do a team-up?
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Besides the 6-inch scale, an odd scale choice in general.
It's just an odd choice, the 8-inch and the 4-inch.
Yeah. Speaking of scale...
Yeah.
Are we ready?
This is the granddaddy of them all. Wait till you see this one, okay? Here we have, originally at the San Diego Comic-Con, the 14-inch scale Liono classic figure, mega scale action figure, and much like his classic counterpart, he comes with the claw shield, the Sword of Omens, and an unextended Sword of Omens.
And also, as we show you these close-ups of the mega scale Liono, we want to mention that his retail price is around $24.99, and he's made by Mezco.
But this is just the ultimate Liono figure. The sculpt is great.
Yeah, it doesn't get any bigger or better than this. I mean, the sculpting is very detailed.
Yeah.
You can see, like, the fur in there, his belt, the face, his eyes, his hair. Everything is just beautiful.
Yeah, this is one amazing toy.
Now, how much articulation is this? Head moves, definitely. Arms go up and down. Wrist turn. What are we thinking? Waist?
I think that, yeah, maybe the waist, too. It looks like his knees aren't articulated or his elbows either. But it's something nice to have, and hopefully I'll go see Laylee Kenny again someday to have him to sign that.
That would be awesome to have that signed.
Laylee, if you're watching, I got something for you to sign.
Very cool. Awesome. So that was our Thundercats episode. Let us know if you're watching the show. Be sure to tune in Friday nights on Cartoon Network at 8:30, 7:30 Central. So far, the episodes have been really good, especially the first one blew us away.
Oh yeah, amazing. Listen to an audio cast on that if you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard it already.
Yeah, we did an audio review on
it. We glow about this episode, so yeah.
So continue to watch us, continue to support Thundercats. We got to keep going. And let us know what you think. Leave comments and please subscribe. And happy toy hunting out there, guys. And this is Chris.
And Andre.
Signing off for another episode of Nerdgasm. See you next time.